So when we came out of COVID, we had a lot of things going on, and here we go now with fast food.
Yep.
Look at this. This is the net income of the majors. And take a look at McDonald's. If you looked at basically rolling net income in terms of market share, McDonald's owns it. And then Yum Brands, which is KFC, Pizza Hut, Starbucks growing again, Chipotle's gone up and down with all the problems that they had with food contamination. And then restaurant brands, you see Burger King not having it. So this is really interesting, and you see that the profits have grown from actually enduring COVID, middle of 22, coming back. They dipped a little bit during COVID, but they've rallied quick. And I was looking at this, and it said for people under 40, fast food is slightly bigger percent of their lunch budget now than it was before COVID. So people are actually turning to fast food, which isn't particularly healthy, and so fast food is showing the profits. But now where is that? Let's go take a look at where it is. Next slide. And we look at it right here. Who's building and who's shrinking? Starbucks, after all the troubles that they had going into COVID, they've actually opened 429 stores. Interesting. From end of 2022, from end of 21, Jersey Mike's, look at that, 297 stores. But now look at the bottom, Subway, minus 571. After they had that whole thing with the spokesperson and a pedophilia disaster, and that's franchisees actually closing because they felt that the brand was so radioactive. Because remember, if you're a franchise operator, you gotta keep your franchise happy or they're gonna close. And I attempted to look up and find out, of the 571 Subways that closed, how many of them went across the street to open a Jersey Mike's location? Or just flip their location?
No.
I was not able to find the correlation there, but the numbers talk to it. And you look also at Burger King has lost locations. And then there's, Baskin Robbins and Jack in the Box and things.
Yeah.
But I find it very interesting that Starbucks, Jersey Mike's, and Chipotle are moving and the others aren't, and it shows up on the other slide in the share of profits.
No, for sure. I think also the discrepancy in terms of the 571 and then the next up is 91. I mean, Subway closed more franchise locations than the rest of the other ones on the chart here.
5 times more.
Exactly. So the other thing here that I was looking at with the revenue and stuff like that was I was looking at which of these have the most stores and then or locations, and then which of them are generating the most revenue. So I had a chart here that Malik can pull up here, where we were looking at the difference between the revenue generated from the locations, because obviously some of these places have a lot more locations, right? So if you have more locations, you're going to do more sales. But ultimately, what it comes down to in many ways is how much sales per location, right? So if we look at the top here, McDonald's has the most locations at 40,000 locations. Subway, 37,000, which obviously they're now taking a hit in terms of being able to sustain that and grow. Starbucks, 36,000 locations, and they're up there on the top of building out more locations. Then we continue down, KFC, Burger King, it just kind of trickles down. Now on the next slide here, we can see the interesting part about which of these are generating the most revenue, right? So if we look at the USA, we have 32.3 billion is Starbucks. Then we have 31.3 billion is KFC, which is interesting. Burger King, then McDonald's, but then look at Chick-fil-A. 18.8 billion with 2,700 locations. Now that's
they have a tremendously loyal audience.
And they're turning over a lot of revenue per location on that end. So obviously running a very efficient business there.
There you go. Well, I know where I'm eating and not eating, and I tend to eat healthy. And a lot of those on the fast food, God bless them, good companies, I'm not going to be eating there anytime soon. If it's healthy, that's when I'm going to do it, and that's where I'm going to spend my dollar, especially in the age of inflation. I'm not going to give up health for convenience.